Can you visualize finding yourself in the heart of a Canadian winter, astounded by its intense cold and mesmerizing allure? There's an exclusive charm about the winter in the Great White North. The temperature plunges, sometimes far beneath zero, but this decline brings forth a metamorphosis of the surroundings that's utterly enchanting. The previously lush fields and forests of Canada are now cloaked in a spotless layer of snow, creating an impression as though they've been sprinkled by the hands of a skilled dessert maker. The lakes and rivers, once bustling with life, solidify to form extensive glittering ice fields beneath the soft winter sun. However, within this icy tableau, there's a sense of audacity, a challenge, so to speak. The intense cold doesn't just change the environment, but it also modifies the lifestyle drastically. It's an endurance test, a tribute to the durability of the human spirit and its capacity to adjust and persevere. The icy temperatures can be a barrier, but they also lead to distinct adventures and experiences that are characteristically Canadian. Think about the excitement of ice fishing on a frozen lake, or the thrill of snowmobiling through the snow-covered trails. Visualize the peaceful allure of a winter hike, or the unparalleled delight of observing the northern lights perform a ballet across the night sky. These experiences, although rooted in the severe weather conditions, are what make a Canadian winter sincerely extraordinary. But this frosty paradise doesn't come without its perils. In the northern town of Churchill, Manitoba, the danger isn't just the cold, but also the local fauna. Here, the polar bears are the lords of the land, and while they are a spectacle to watch, they also present a possible threat. So, if you're planning an adventure in the wilderness, remember to stay alert and keep your vehicle nearby. It's not just the cold that can catch you off guard in a Canadian winter. A Canadian winter with its frosty clasp and striking visuals is indeed an extraordinary encounter. Next, we take you to Churchill, Winnipeg, Manitoba, a small town that punches above its weight, with its reputation as the polar bear capital of the world. Churchill is a remote outpost tucked away on the shores of Hudson Bay, and it boasts an extraordinary claim to fame. It's among the handful of human settlements that offer you the chance to observe polar bears in their wild habitat, offering a thrilling and fascinating insight into the lives of these majestic creatures. Geographically, Churchill is located at a latitude that makes it a winter wonderland for a major part of the year. Its extreme weather, along with its strategic location in the migration path of the polar bears, transforms Churchill into a veritable sanctuary for these Arctic behemoths. But remember, along with this incredible privilege comes a certain amount of risk and responsibility. The polar bears of Churchill are not cute mascots. They are formidable predators that demand respect. So, precautions are mandatory during your visit to the town. It's rather usual to see locals leave their cars unlocked as a potential sanctuary for anyone who could potentially come into contact with a polar bear. It's a stark reminder of the fact that in Churchill, humans are not the only inhabitants, but share the land with the of the Arctic. The severe winter conditions in Churchill are both a challenge and a charm. The sub-zero temperatures and the gnawing winds may not be for the weak-hearted, but if you dare to face these conditions, you are in for a treat, with a chance to witness a landscape magically transformed into a winter wonderland and see the polar bears in their natural setting. A visit Churchill is not for those seeking a mundane vacation, but for those who have a sense of adventure and a deep respect for the power of nature. This town is a symbol of the fortitude of its human and animal residents who have adapted to flourish in such a harsh environment. It's a place where the wilderness is not just a concept, but a part of everyday life. Despite the challenges it poses, Churchill gives you an unmatched chance to watch these regal creatures in their natural habitat. It's a journey into the core of the Arctic, where wilderness rules, and the polar bear is the king. As night descends, brace yourself for a spectacle like no other: the Aurora Borealis. Witnessed as the sky above Churchill morphs into a brilliant display of dancing lights, an extraordinary phenomenon that will ensnare your senses. Often referred to as the Northern Lights, this enchanting performance by nature paints the night sky with vibrant hues. But what triggers the Aurora Borealis? It's a natural light exhibition in our planet's sky, majorly observed in the high-latitude regions circling the Arctic and Antarctic. The spectacle manifests when solar particles collide with atoms in Earth's atmosphere, inducing a shift in the energy state of electrons. The subsequent release of light, as they revert to their regular energy state, creates this surreal and enchanting light show we term as the Northern Lights. Now the question arises, why Churchill? Why is this quaint town in Manitoba the epicenter for this cosmic ballet? Churchill's geographical position holds the answer. Ideally located right beneath the auroral oval, a belt-like region encircling the North Pole, Churchill experiences the highest frequency of the Aurora Borealis. This makes it one of the prime locations on Earth to witness this awe-inspiring wonder. The timing also plays a vital role. The northern lights, while not bound by a schedule, are usually spotted during the long, dark winter nights from late November to the end of March. During these months, the nights in Churchill serve as the ideal backdrop for the lights to etch their celestial beauty. Churchill is more than just a place, a gateway to an extraordinary experience that remains etched in memory. It's a voyage into the depths of nature, enabling you to witness one of the most spectacular light shows on Earth. The Aurora Borealis stands not just as a phenomenon, but as a tribute to the marvels of the natural world. Observing it from Churchill, beneath the expansive open sky, is an encounter that can indeed be labeled as magical. The Aurora Borealis is an unforgettable spectacle, and experiencing it from Churchill is a memory to treasure. Ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Let's prepare for your Churchill escapade. Starting with the basics, your Churchill is a picturesque, frosty wonderland, but it also comes with a bite of the cold. Layering is key. Thermal underwear, cozy sweaters, and insulated outerwear are non-negotiable. Add to your checklist a solid pair of waterproof boots, thermal socks, gloves and a hat. Staying warm is essential, but comfort is equally important as you traverse the icy wilderness. Moving on to safety. Churchill, famously known as the polar bear capital of the world, calls for certain precautions. The bears are a sight to behold. However, they can also be dangerous. Thus, always maintain a safe distance. Never attempt to approach a bear, even if it seems harmless. Keep in mind your vehicle is your sanctuary. Never wander too far from it, always stay within sight of it. Wondering about the activities? Churchill serves a platter of adventure experiences, from guided polar bear tours to northern lights viewing. When booking your tour, ensure to choose a trusted company that values safety and respect for wildlife. You may even get to see a few Arctic foxes or snowy owls during your trip. And undoubtedly, the Aurora Borealis. This celestial light show is the crown jewel of any Churchill visit. To increase your chances of witnessing the northern lights, plan your trip between late November and late March. Be ready for late nights, as the lights paint the sky best between midnight and 2 a.m. Lastly, pack your spirit of adventure and a generous serving of patience. The weather can be fickle, and wildlife sightings are not always a sure thing. But with a little bit of luck and the right mindset, your Churchill trip can be a memory for a lifetime. Remember, the right preparation can make your Churchill escapade both exciting and safe. And let's not forget, the northern lights await. So, let's review our discussion on the Canadian winter and the unique opportunities that Churchill presents. The Canadian winter is not a walk in the park. It dramatically alters the environment into a frozen spectacle. The carpet of snow that drapes the land and the icicles adorning the rooftops all bear testament to the winter's stark grandeur in Canada. Yet, it brings its own tribulations. The climate can be severe, with freezing temperatures that can plummet surprisingly, and snowstorms can hamper travel. Nestled in Manitoba Province, Churchill is a quaint town with an impressive reputation. It's widely recognized as the polar bear capital of the world, a place where these splendid beasts wander at will. However, while they may appear cuddly from afar, they are in fact wild animals. It is necessary to keep your vehicle accessible when exploring and to maintain a constant awareness of your environment. Beyond the polar bears, Churchill offers additional attractions. As daylight fades, the true spectacle commences. The Aurora Borealis, the northern lights, emblazon the nighttime sky with a spectacular array of colors. This natural lantern display is a jaw-dropping vision that lures travelers from all corners of the globe to this secluded Canadian locality. To ensure a successful Churchill venture, preparation is essential. Arm yourself with cozy attire to ward off the cold, and include necessities such as food and water in your pack. Getting acquainted with the local terrain and wildlife beforehand is advisable for a secure and pleasurable experience. Venturing into the Canadian winter for a Churchill exploration is a distinctive experience, providing awe-inspiring visuals and memorable interactions with the wilderness. Whether you're a thrill-seeker yearning for your next adrenaline fix, or a nature enthusiast in search of serenity, Churchill caters to all tastes. So, are you ready to embrace the Canadian winter and embark on a Churchill adventure? From witnessing the transformation of the landscape to observing polar bears and the breathtaking Aurora Borealis, this is an experience that will stay with you forever.